Here's Paul out in the middle of a storm. One of the baddest storms that could come in. You walk like that comes in. And he's on the water. And he gets a word from God. Ain't nobody gonna perish. Watch this. And the Bible said the storm was so bad, Sister Jenny. The boat got beat up, towed up. But check this out. God had surfboards back then, and they surfed on in. They created surfboards in the late 50s, and Paul had a surfboard. Come on, somebody. Paul and the men that was on that ship surfed right on in to land. Y'all don't keep me up in here. Somebody say they surfed right on in the shore. So surfboards were not just created, but surfboards were back then. Now all they could see was a drowning situation. But God took the bits and the pieces of the ship that was left, made it out of surfboards, and let them glide on in. Look at somebody and say, you better use what you got. Because what you got is going to bring you in. Oh, Jesus. How many of y'all getting something out of this? See, brother, now Herbert, see, somebody think that a Rolls Royce should have showed up on that water.
All right.
That's how people are. If they can't come out a particular way, they feel like they ain't been brought out.
Jesus.
Yeah.
See, we look for the wrong things. You around here looking for Rolls Royces and Cadillacs and Beamers, black man wishes. If God sent you that Chevette, get in the book and it's going to get you out. Get in it and get out. If he just sent you a seat on the passenger side of somebody's car, take the ride. Some of y'all is like the man that was drowning and was waiting on somebody to come and help him. And everybody had came by. And he ended up dying. And he wanted to ask the Lord, well, why didn't you send somebody to help me? He said, I sent somebody to help you, but you wouldn't come. You made a decision to go ahead and drown. Some of y'all are making decisions to go ahead on and drown. And God said, it's about time, let me speak for you. It's about time, let me bring you out. It's about time, let me turn it around for you. It's about time, let me put my hands in it. Stand to your feet. Stand to your feet. Stand to your feet. He says, when you walk through the waters, he said, I'll be with you. Through the rivers, they shall not overflow you. And when you walk through the fire, you shall not be burned.
All right.
He said, I am the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. I'm the same God that took the heat out of the fire for Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. I'm the same God that turned water into wine when the wine ran out. I'm the same God that rained manna from heaven when there was no food to feed the children of Israel. I'm the same God that let the tax collector find the money for the taxes in the fish's mouth. I'm not coming the way you think I'm coming.
All right.
He said, but I am coming. I'm not even coming through who you think I'm coming through, but I'm coming. Huh? There are people that I never thought would walk up out of here and leave now. There are people I thought because of my concern and my help toward them for years, that once God blessed them, that they would always be here to give back. And everybody that I thought would do that is the one that left. And the ones that I never thought would do anything for me are the ones that have done something for me. Because when you get to the point that you know you there for a person every holiday, you don't fail to be a blessing. In our carnal mind, we think they're going to be there and bless you back, and they ain't. And they ain't. God said, I'm doing it through who you least expect me to do it through. He said, but I want you to know I'm doing it. God said, it's about time, and I'm getting ready to speak. And he told me last night, he said, tell the people the word that I speak shall not return back void. He said that the word, when I send it, it will accomplish what I'm sending it out to do. This is what he told me. He said, I want you to open prison doors today. I said, how do I do it? He said, by the spoken word. He said, I want you to heal blinded eyes by the spoken word. He said, I want you to speak my word and let my word revive the people's faith. How many of y'all know your faith is dwindling? It's dwindling because you're not seeing what you want to see. When the prophet Elijah went to the woman, and the woman went to her husband, and she tells her husband, she said, let's build a room on the house for the prophet, so that we can feed the prophet and make sure that the prophet has somewhere to lay. And the prophet Elijah asked the woman, what do you have need of? And she said, nothing. And the servant said, she has no son. She probably thought in her mind, I'm too old. Don't tell me about a son. And he said, by this season, next year, you'll have a son. Watch this. So here comes the son. I'm going to tell you something real significant. The son is born by the next season. And the son goes out and the son helps his father in the field. And the son gets sick. And he comes and he says, my head is hurting. His head was hurting. The Bible said he got on his mother's knees. His mother began to rock him and he fell dead. His mother said, I got to get the man of God. She wanted to get the same man that spoke this son. Now watch this. The son was not just a son, he was a word. Somebody say he was a prophetic word. He was a prophetic word. When he manifested, that was the word that had manifested. So here it is, watch this. They had to get the prophet. You can read it when you get home. They had to get the prophet. So when the prophet got back to the child was dead. This is what the prophet did. The prophet went in the room with the child, shut the door on him and the word. Somebody say, shut the door on you and your word. Shut the door on you and get in the word. Just you and the word. When he shut the door on him and the word, the boy was a word. The Bible said he laid his eyes to the boy's eyes, his nose to the boy's nose, his mouth to the boy's mouth. He was a word. He told that word. Watch this here. The devil killed the word. Are you getting it? Somebody say the devil killed that word. The devil killed that word. So what the prophet had to do was take the boy in the room, resurrect the word. Come on, somebody. Somebody said resurrect your word. How do I resurrect my word? I got to spend some time with God. He went in that room, shut that door. You got to shut yourself off. Yes. From everybody else. Can't you imagine? The word got out. The son that was born from the prophet spoke the word, and the son manifested. He's here, he's alive, but the child done died. Don't you know the neighbors started coming? Don't you know people started getting